It's no longer new that different political parties make different campaign promises during election, and we're going to be looking at the campaign promises that are being made by these politicians during election to know if it is in line with what they are doing currently in the country, starting from the federal down to the states. On Viewpoint today on ITV, I am Caroline Okonji. So, let's go sample opinions of our respondents to hear what they have to say about campaign promises during election.
President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, from the very first day he was sworn in, he said we're going to remove fuel subsidy, which he has done. He was going to merge both forest exchange rates standards. He has done that. Those are the two major things that have stabilized our economy, that it was slipping down on a very fast rate. You discover that since then, World Bank, IMF, even our own, we use her as a kind of barometer, they have praised this government. Macroeconomically, our economy is stable. But the problem we have, it has not trickled down to the bottom. The poor people are still very, very angry because food prices are still high, petroleum products are still high, other things are high. The price it went to before will never come down because people are enjoying it. Food prices, those are human factor. If us as Nigerians believe that for Nigerians to be good, we should do the right thing, most of this will be sorted out. But people like to take advantage of what is going on. But Tinubu came out and said he was going to do all he can to crash food prices. If he's able to do that, you find that if it trickle down, everybody will be happy. But I can tell you, the federal government, they have fulfilled their major electoral promises. The economy is stable. And one very beautiful thing is the stability of the exchange rate. For businessmen, it doesn't matter whether the exchange rate is 1 million. If it is stable, they are happy because they are able to plan properly for their businesses. But if it is 2 naira and it's between 2 naira and 3 naira and 4 naira, they are not happy because they are not able to plan for their businesses. The exchange rate is also coming down. It's moved from 1,500 to 1,400 as I saw last week. I don't know what it is today. But the interesting thing is that it's been within that range and it's been stable. It's good for businessmen. That's for federal government. There are even things that they did not promise, that they are trying to do. To be very candid, it was a good thing that we had President Bola Ahmed Tinubu as the president, because he had what it took to withstand those who fought against subsidy exchange rate removal, because a lot of people were making money from that arrangement, and also for merging the two exchange rates. He only had the capacity because he has the structure, he has the money and the experience to do that, and he's doing it. And I just feel I hope they will allow him to continue to do it and stabilize this economy properly. People coming to states, our man at the states is doing his best. He has not settled fully. That is just picking his commissioners. Most times we don't use that to rate them because some stay 1 year before you pick commissioner. But he has done so well, very well so far, because what I've seen him do is, for the love of Edo State, he has been doing most of even the federal government. You see this Benin Ekpoma road at the start you couldn't pass, but now you can pass it all through. There is one he's doing that will pass through my place from Ewu to Agbo. He's also on that. But one thing that impressed me last week or 2 weeks ago, he just gave 2.5 billion naira to UBTH. Not because it's a state hospital, because he feels Edo people go there and it helps Edo people. That's how you know a governor that loves his people. He can ask for it for later, whatever he does to get his money back. But first, let the people enjoy the benefits of what the state is doing. The flyover is building has gone very far now. I was shocked that they have started covering the top. If that thing is sorted out, it will help those of us who go to Isha and go to Auchi, because anytime that market is on, it's difficult to cross that place. I hear it's coming on some other ones again, but I know that a whole lot of things is doing. It's still less than 1 year. It's in November that year would have spent 1 year. I think the state government is also doing very well. The local government, there was some shake-up in the local government. They are still trying to correct it. They just finished one by election and that kind of thing. Although we hear it's in court, I don't know how they will sort that one out. But the council people too are doing very well. But my fear is we have not found out whether, I doubt if the state is taking their money, because once they allow them to, I hear because of the removal of fuel subsidy, a whole lot of money is going to the states and the local government. If the states allow the local government to use the money that comes to them, I'm sure a whole lot will get to the grassroots and the people will enjoy. So far, I think from local government to state to the federal government, they are doing fairly well.
Well, when you talk about campaign promises, of course, it's one of the fundamental elements during election. That is when they start campaigning for offices, they will promise here and there, promise various things that they are going to do. So in the case of the ruling party now, at the federal you have the APC, even in the state here in Edo State, you have APC too as the governor. So at the federal, when Tinubu was coming in, he said his mantra was Renew Hope Agenda. And that Renew Hope was supposed to alleviate the suffering of the masses. Very important. It was supposed to alleviate the suffering of the masses. It was supposed to probably work on areas where he felt that the citizens were not actually enjoying and all that. So, when he came in now, when he came into the office, he has actually, if I now want to look at, take a general appraisal of his administration, you'll see that he has actually, for me personally, he has actually not done anything that has been to benefit of the average Nigerians. I'm not talking about those ones that are in his government, those that are already having enough for themselves. But for the average Nigerian, he has not fulfilled his campaign promises. Like now, we will talk about by next year now, by even January 2026, they said they are introducing a new tax regime. That's what the federal government is saying. But he never told us that that's the kind of tax regime he's going to bring out for us. Even when he said he was going to widen the net and reduce the purchasing power of Nigerians, when he was saying that, Nigerians actually didn't take him seriously. I also felt that Nigerians never believed that by the time that comes in, is how to go and be taxing the common man and all that. That's what he's going to introduce. So it's not carrying out our promises. People are even apprehensive now because they feel that by 2026 the tax regime is going to be so wide, it's going to encompass everybody, and at the end of the day, instead of alleviating the suffering of Nigerians, what is going to happen is that Nigerians are even going to suffer more. You understand? Then when he told us, when he was coming in, he said he also campaigned. In fairness to him, all other presidential candidates also said they were going to remove fuel subsidy. So when he came in, immediately he came in, that was the first announcement he made, that subsidy is hereby removed. And you have forgotten the fact that as at when he was coming in, the promise was that the money from the fuel subsidy he will now use it to develop infrastructure. And you believe me, you see that since he removed fuel subsidy on 29th of May 2023 when he came in, till now, nothing. We have not seen any infrastructural development in the country. You understand me? The federal roads are still bad. I want to look at it from our own angle now, using Edo State as a case study. All the federal roads leading into Edo State, they are all bad. If you are going to from here now, you are going to the east, it's terrible. People are shouting every day about Agbo Road. If you are going to the north through Auchi Road, it's a terrible experience for everybody. Now, if you are even going to the south through Benin Saple Road, that's another problematic road too. Even if you are coming in from Lagos to Benin, It's a problem. So where did he now use the money to develop the infrastructure? All the money has got it from subsidy removal. What has he now done with it? Secondly, he didn't mention anything like fuel tax. But now we are hearing that by next year, he's going to be removing 5% for every liter of fuel that you buy. He didn't make that promise, you know. So it's really unfortunate, actually, that our politicians, when they are campaigning, they'll make various promises and all that. Then when they now come into office, they start doing different things entirely, which is not fair on Nigerians. Now, coming home, when the present administration, when he was campaigning, you saw that there was a time he stood in erosion where you had devastating erosion in the GRA. He stood there and said, this road is bad, they ought to do it and all that and all that. So, but at the end of the day, the administration of Okpebholo has stayed almost a year now. By November, he will be 1 year in office, and he has not done anything about it. He has not done anything about it. That was one of his campaign promises. The administration also said that he was going to provide security for the people. Basically, they are not fulfilling their campaign promises. The only way with the governor, I can say that the governor is actually trying in this state now, is some of the projects he has started. Like if you are talking of Benin Auchi Road towards Abuja, you see that in Ekpoma is really doing a fantastic job there. Even the Temboga Road at Upper Mission Extension is also working there very well. It's tying about 1 or 2 roads there in Temboga, passing through that Alant is going to end at behind Uniben. You know, then you talk about the flyover. They're also working in the flyover. That he actually promised that he was going to do a flyover in Benin, and I think he's doing that now. That's also commendable. But generally, our politicians should learn to stick to their words, because at the end of the day, they come in, they promise all sorts of things. At the end of the day, when they take office, they actually don't do those things. They start doing a very different agenda altogether, which is not fair on the electorates. Because of course, when you are campaigning for an election, people are supposed to vote for you based on the promises that you have made, on your campaign promises. So, you know, so when at the end of the day you come into office and you are doing a different thing entirely, you don't expect the people to be happy about it. So nobody will vote for somebody that will come and increase the hardship for all of us. Nobody will vote for that kind of person. So why will you not come in and you now start making life very difficult for Nigerians, and you expect us to be clapping for you? That, I think that is also not fair. So there's the need going forward that subsequent elections, politicians should only promise what they can, the promises that they can fulfill when they come into office. Politicians should learn to also take the electorate seriously by ensuring that if they promise A or B, by the time they go into office, they should be able to provide that A or B for us.
There were a lot of campaign promises, and I think the governor has already started fulfilling the promises that he made to the people, the good people of Edo State, while he was campaigning. He has an agenda, which is a 5-point agenda, and I think we, the Edo people, would like visible projects. I don't want to talk so much about the flyover, which is visible to everybody. Are we going to talk about the educational sector that he talks about? We have a very dynamic, wonderful young man. He made the Commissioner of Education, Honorable Ima Iyamu, that is doing wonderfully well in the educational sector. So you want to talk about the infrastructure that he promised. You want to talk about the empowerment, youth empowerment, insecurity in the states. If you look right now that we have a think-tank team that is going around the whole state, combing every nooks and crannies of this state concerning the insecurity that we had. And they have been doing a very, very wonderful work in Edo State. If you see right now, you can walk in the night, you can go wherever you want to go because of the security team on ground in the state. These are promises that the governor made to the good people of Edo while he was campaigning. And he's a man that does not talk too much. And he's a promise keeper. When he promises anything, he's definitely going to achieve and deliver that he has promised. And it's not a man that will give you MOU that has no bearings, to attract investors to this state, to develop the state, and turn this state, as he has promised in his agenda, that he's going to make Edo the first city in the whole Africa. So these are part of his political promises that he made, and he's already working towards them seriously. I know that he has started his political promises, and he's going to fulfill all of them. I always ask from the Edo people that they should give him time, they should be patient with him. I can tell you that he has done tremendously well, better than people who have spent 4-8 years in the government. Before we finish the first dispensation, I know he's going to achieve all his political promises.
The campaign in Nigeria electoral processes I see it as a mere political manipulation, whereby politicians come on stage after dancing Awilo and dancing Azoto online. They make all sorts of fictitious promises just to cajole and manipulate the electorate. But in a real sense, political campaign is another thing for social contract, whereby the politicians or the political players reach an agreement, a contractual agreement with the electorate as regard what they intend to provide for the electorate. But in Nigeria context, you see anybody coming up to make a statement in which they know that they cannot or they don't have the intention or the plans of fulfilling. They say those all sort of promises, campaign promises, just to cajole Nigerians, to make them excited. And in the other hand, Nigerians, they allow themselves to be fooled, to continually to be cajoled all over again and again and again. Now, looking at the set promises made by the president, which in my own opinion, as at when the promises were being made, I understood that he doesn't have any intention of fulfilling those promises. For instance, they said they were going to, the federal government, this current administration, while they were campaigning, said they were going to face the issue with the power sector in 6 months. So how long has it been now? Has anything changed? No. Rather, it has got from bad to worse. They said they were going to fix our refineries. Our refineries working? They said they were going to fix our economy. Is it not worse? So they came on that platform of making promises they don't have plan to fulfill. Nigeria should understand this. Coming back to Edo State, when we interface with the government, this current government where they were campaigning, we demanded that the said promises should be reduced to document. In other civilized societies, what political parties and candidates does, they pencil down their promises, what they intend doing for the people. And every day the citizens can read through it. The opposition party can peruse to know whether what was written or what was promised is being fulfilled or not. But if I ask you now, what can you tell me that was promised by this government? They came on board, they say whatever they want to say. But again, the only thing I can applaud this government for is the flyover we are seeing at Rama Park. That is one capital project that is visible. Outside that, and apart from trying to rejuvenate the socio-cultural and traditional structure of the Edo State that was almost balkanized by the previous administration, apart from this area, I have not seen anything working out in Edo State. But we still keep our fingers crossed, hoping that the governor, Edo State governor, will do better. But again, to me, not in his campaign promises, because personally, I can't hold on to anything that was said during that campaign, because I know it was just mere political statement that you cannot hold them liable if not fulfilled.
All what he has promised Edo people, we start seeing them. Like on myself, like the first flyover he has mentioned, first of his kind, to see flyover in the heart of the city. So, and like those commissioners he appointed, they are all sound commissioners. They are doing well. And look at the insecurity in the state. Now, Edo people cannot sleep with their 2 eyes closed. Unlike everyday courtesan killing, robbery, kidnapping, that has ceased from his time. So I also know before 2 years of the governor, Senator Modope, Edo will be shining more and more. And having said all of this, I name him the slow running jet. He's a man that does not talk at random, but is working to the best of those citizens' interest. So I think with this, Edo will give him normal 4+4. In school, I score him 100% because if you look at the way the Commissioner of Education is working, Honorable Padi, the way it's working, you know that yes, he's a very sound person. Like I earlier told you, the governor does not just select any hard person for his appointment. He look at those that fit the cap, that can do it well, because he's a man that does not talk so much. He wants to give his appointment to those that can really work towards his dream. We haven't said all this. You said about road construction. I think, let me tell you, he might just 9 months or 10 months in the office. Now, if such a man has done what we are seeing now, just think about these 2 years to 4 years, Edo will be shining. So road, as I know, is working. The man is trying. He's doing his best.
Our president is trying. As you can see, he's trying. If you see the price of fuel, he's getting the price of fuel now. The way it is now is different from the way it was before. At least the price is coming down, and even rice is coming down. And you see the insecurity. We believe in him, so we believe we have to give him second tenure for him to fulfill all the election points. Because Nigeria was scattered before he came in. So, by the grace of God, he's going to do more than what he was doing now, and what he's still going to do for us. We believe everything he promised us, we're going to do for us by the grace of God. But for my state, me, I'm from Edo State. Bevole is our leader at Bako Rescue. So we are happy working for him. We are happy be with him as a boy. We are happy be with him as a follower. You see, for the first time in history, we have a flyover, which majority of us did not believe it would be possible. But once you get there now, you see them working day and night. Outside that, look at Saple Road. I stay in Saple Road. They are working day and night. Check all the federal roads. It's working. He didn't neglect them based on his federal road. He's working on the state road. Even the local streets is working. In terms of education, it's working well. In terms of health, it's working well. In terms of everything, it's working well. So he's a great man.
While some persons are already appreciating some of the works that are being done by the present administration, some are of a different view and opinion entirely. Our citizens are still expecting much from the present administration, from the federal down to the state, and even, I must say, down to local governments, that they should do everything possible to see that they reach out to the citizens, especially when it has to do with their need, and make the basic communities accessible and flexible for citizens, in order for the poor masses to be able to benefit from some of the basic amenities. Rather, it is Viewpoint on ITV. I am Caroline Okonji.